Hello, my friends. This is Dr. B, the best doctor in medicine. 30 years of experience, more than 30 years of experience, guys. Dr. B today wants to talk to you about an important topic that affects millions of Americans, right? Hundreds of millions of people all over the globe, guys. And that is brain fog. Brain fog. This clouding of your brain, of your cognitive abilities, right? That we call colloquially brain fog. In medicine, we call that clouding of consciousness. Now, regular people, right? We call it brain fog. You know what I mean. You are always tired. You have trouble concentrating. From the moment you get up, you are not yourself, right? You have trouble paying attention. You have trouble following a movie. Suddenly, as you follow a movie, after 10 minutes, your brain is somewhere else, thinking about something else, right? You have trouble concentrating on a task, right? If I ask you to read a book, right? After the first 20 lines, your brain's gonna be somewhere else. Your eyes are gonna still be focused on the book, but your brain's gonna be somewhere else, right? You have trouble sleeping. You have lost your appetite. You're not yourself. You are no longer the person you used to be a month ago, 2 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. Your wife is complaining that you don't pay attention to her. You don't listen to her when she's in the kitchen and calling you and talking to you. Conversely, your husband is telling you that, honey, what's wrong with you? You're different, right? You're not the same person. You forget your keys when you leave. You forget to grab your purse when you go buy your groceries. I mean, it is crazy how brain fog is prevalent, right? Brain fog is this constellation of symptoms that people know that they have, but their doctor does not care about it, right? Because the doctor is busy running his practice, his business. He needs to see 30 patients in a day, in and out, in and out. When you go talk to your doctor about it, your doctor dismisses your brain fog as, well, you must be tired. Oh, maybe you are getting a little depressed. Oh, maybe you're lacking some sleep. I'm going to give you some antidepressant. I'm going to give you some sleep medication. I'm going to give you some anti-anxiety medication. Get the hell out of here. Bring the next patient. This is, guys, the status of modern medicine in America. It has become crazy, and it's going to become worse. You, my dear fellow citizen, my dear fellow human being, Dr. B loves you, Dr. B cares about you. Dr. B is here to help you age gracefully. Dr. B is here to guide you to be aggressive in a nice way. Maybe aggressive is not the correct term I should have used. To take the bull by the horn, right? To be responsible for your own health care. To be pushy, correct, pushy. Maybe not use the term aggressive, but pushy with your doctor. Be pushy, be insistent. Do not allow your doctor to dismiss your brain fog. Guys, whether you're a man or a woman, regardless of your age, your gender, your politics, whoever the cazzo you are, you know yourself better than I know you. You know yourself better than your wife knows you. You know yourself better than your husband knows you. You know better yourself than your kids know you. you. You know that you're not the same. You know that you are different. And this fog, this constant haze in your brain, this inability to concentrate like you used to, this inability to follow a movie from the beginning to the end as you used to, this inability to read the news like you used to without having suddenly your brain jumping somewhere else and thinking about somewhere else, something else, right? You know that you have this problem, right? You know that you can no longer sit down and play a game of chess with your kids, right? With your teenage kid who is a chess genius, right? You used to play chess. You used to be interested in reading. You used to be interested in learning the game of bridge. You used to be interested in watching the news, in learning a language. So you were busy trying to learn Spanish, right? And suddenly, 2 months ago, you started to not be able to memorize anything. Nothing goes into your memory. You cannot retrieve the old memories. You cannot memorize anything. You have this clouding of your consciousness, clouding of your cognitive abilities. That is what we call brain fog. And of course, as I said, you know you have it. I know that you know, right? But then when you go talk to your family doctor, your general practitioner, your internist, they are not used to deal with these complex situations, right? They don't like to deal with this complex situation that requires investigation, in-depth investigation, in-depth investigation. It doesn't just require to get your blood pressure, send you to the lab to do a blood test and come back in 6 months, I'll give you the results, right? This is complex medicine. This takes time. It takes a doctor to sit down for a long time in an exam room, examine the patient's clinical examination, physical examination, then to do a history taking to look at the symptoms of the patient, the clinical signs, and to ask questions and to listen to the patient, right? The family doctors, they don't do that anymore. They don't listen to their patient. They are rushy, they are pushy, right? And not only that, but your doctor, even if your doctor was interested in such a, in these complicated cases, right? He's busy to run his business. He needs to see 25 more patients, right? So he needs to rush you. He cannot spend the time to deal with your brain fog, right? Brain fog, guys, can be a sign of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different conditions, from hypoglycemia to diabetes to dementia to COVID, to hypothyroidism, to dysautonomia. I mean, it can be brain fog. This brain fog that you have can come from hundreds of different diseases and conditions. It is the job and the duty of your family doctor, your internist, your family practitioner, your family physician to take care of that, to investigate, right? It's a detective's work, the work of a detective in medicine, right? But your doctor not going to do it because he doesn't want to spend the time to be with you in that exam room for half an hour, 40 minutes that are required to examine you from head to toe, to do a clinical physical examination from head to toe, and to sit down and ask you questions, respond, blah, 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 blah. And remember, guys, that it's going to get even worse in the future. This medical situation, the disastrous condition of our healthcare is going to get even worse and worse and worse. In addition to that, your family doctor is under pressure by the insurance companies. So the insurance companies, even if your family doctor wants to dive deep into the investigation about what's the cause of your brain fog. Where does your brain fog come from? Go do this test, go do that test, go see a psychiatrist, see if there's no problem with your brain, go see a neurologist, go see if there's no problem with your nervous system, right? The COVID-19 can affect the brain, right? Early sign of dementia, right? Brain fog can be an early sign of dementia that we can detect early, right? Long COVID. People who have long COVID, a lot of them have a brain fog. Hypothyroidism, hypoglycemia, diabetes, blah, 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 blah. Immunosuppressive drugs, side effect of medications, blah, blah, blah. Autoimmune disorders. I mean, you name it. There's a list like 100 pages for the different causes, the etiologies of brain fog. So you're not the doctor. If you see that your doctor doesn't take care of it, you need to change your doctor, guys. And then you need to call your insurance, tell that this doctor, I want to change. You need to approve me for this other doctor. Because the doctor is too busy running his practice. He needs to make a ton of money to pay the bills, to pay his overhead, his receptionist, the nurse, the medical assistant, put a lot of money in the bank for his retirement, feed his kid, his wife, go on vacation, and blah, 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 right? He doesn't care about you. I mean, a lot of doctors do, but they are under pressure, the time pressure. There's no time because he has 30 more patients to see during that day. So he's going to rush you. In addition, as you know very well, in America, the insurance companies, guys, are in the business to make money. They don't care about you, guys. Any insurance company, right? You name them, right? Any insurance company, whether it's federal insurance, Medicare, Medicaid, in California, all right, the Medicaid, we call that Medi-Cal, all right? It just doesn't reimburse enough the doctors to give incentives to the doctors, the clinics, the hospital to accept this patient and to spend time investigate their diseases, their symptoms, and their signs, right? The insurance companies are in the business to collect premiums, money from you and me, and then to not approve treatments, to not approve prevention, to not approve surgery, to postpone them, right? I mean, you know that very well. My grandfather needed to wait 2 years and had to fight the insurance company before his knee replacement surgery was approved. Supposedly, initially, he didn't have enough osteoarthritis despite the pain and having to walk with a cane and suffering all night long, having to take massive painkillers. It took him forever for the insurance company to approve him for the surgery. That's how these insurance companies, guys, make billions of profit, and then they buy all these politicians, they grease each other's engine, right? They grease each other's wheels, and they keep going and going and going to the expense of the American people because they don't care about you. You know who you are. You know what's your problem. You know you have brain fog. You need to find a new doctor. If your current doctor doesn't care about it, doesn't listen to you, is not interested in spending the time to investigate it, then you have to push your insurance company, tell them that you want another doctor because this one is not taking care of you. And you need to be pushy. You need to ask for what you deserve, right? You have the right to have a good doctor because you paid that insurance company to hundreds and thousands of dollars for the last decades or so, and you pay taxes, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, but now the Medicare doesn't want to cover your medical care, right? So you need to call them, you need to be pushy, you need to be proactive, you need to be militant, all right? We call that healthcare militancy. It's not we call, I apologize. Dr. B calls this healthcare militancy. The same way you have this political militants, people who fight for that political viewpoint, you, my fellow American citizen, you need to become a healthcare militant. You need to become a healthcare fighter. Of course, you have a right. You do have rights in this country, right? Now, let me tell you, why is it that you need to fight? Why is it that you need to become a militant? Because, a militant in healthcare, I mean, right? Because the situation's going to get worse and worse and worse. Remember that our country, the United States of America, has almost 350 million people, right? 350 million, right? Right? We are the third most populous country on earth. Number one is China. Some people say India. Number two is India. Some people say China. It doesn't matter. Both of them have almost plus or minus 1.5 billion people. Think about that. China and India, each of them, have about 1.5 billion people, right? America is number 3 in terms of population. 350 million people we are, right? And it's going to increase and increase and increase more and more and more and more every year. In 20 years from now, some people say even 10 years, right? Because of this massive constant immigration, people coming. There's about 1 million people who come legally every year to America. Just think about that. Every year in America, 1 million people enter legally the country, right? And another million comes illegally, right? Even though less since the new administration. Right? I'm not talking about politics. I'm just here because I'm a doctor. I care about you. I want to explain to you the situation. So think about it. Do you really believe that anyone, any government can provide good quality preventive care and therapeutic treatment care to 350 million people? Of course not, because it's not sustainable financially. We don't have the money to do that, right? So any politician who tells you, ooh, we are the richest country on earth, we should cover our entire population and give them free health care from the cradle to the grave, right? They are lying to you. These politicians care only about power, glory, and being elected in office, right? It is financially not sustainable, not doable to cover with good health care and provide good preventive care and good therapeutic care, medicine and surgery and medication and dental care and oral care and vision care and ear care and whatever the katsu care you're talking about. Impossible financially to provide this kind of care to 350 million people, right? It would cost trillions of dollars, trillions which we don't have. Every year, guys, remember in 2023, right? We have the statistic for 2023. We don't have the statistic for last year. Today is June 7, 2025. I'm talking to you right now. It is June 7, 2025. We have the statistic for 2023, but not the statistic for last year. In 2023, we spent $4.9 trillion, not billion, not million, trillion dollars, 4.9 on healthcare. And still, millions of people did not have coverage, millions of people did not have access to healthcare, and those who had access to healthcare had to wait in line, had bad quality healthcare, right? And look at our population. It is a disaster. Heart attack, stroke, cancer, obesity, overweight, diabetes, kidney failure, blah, 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 blah. You name it, our population is suffering from hundreds of thousands of diseases that would be treatable and curable and preventable, but the government doesn't have the money, right? Remember, Uncle Sam, our federal government, is in debt $37 trillion. $37 trillion in debt, right? The state of California, where I live, the government of California is hundreds of billions of dollars in debt. have a budget deficit, right? So any politician who tells you that, hey, if you elect me in office, I have a plan for universal health care, right? And I will provide universal health care to 350 million Americans. He's lying to you because it's not financially possible because we don't have the money. We just don't have the money. We are $37 trillion in debt already, and it would cost $10 trillion to cover every year from the cradle to the grave good health care to 350 million Americans. We have spent $5 trillion each year so far, and our population still doesn't get good health care, and still millions do not get health care, millions of drug addicts, millions of homeless, millions of veterans who do not have good care, millions of you, my dear brothers and sisters, who do not have access to health care, right? So having insurance doesn't mean you have access to healthcare, right? As I said in my other video, we have millions of Californians who are on Medi-Cal, right? The Medicaid for California. They have their medical card, right? But they have no access to doctors and surgeons, and because nobody takes their Medi-Cal, right? Because Medi-Cal is bankrupt. It doesn't reimburse anything. So no doctor, no hospital, no private, nobody accepts that freaking Medi-Cal except a few, right? So having healthcare coverage, right, doesn't mean you're going to get access to healthcare. So all these politicians who tell you, we want universal healthcare coverage for 350 million Americans, which of course going to become pretty soon 400 million, right, in a few years. 400 millions in a few years. This guy is lying to you. And then they tell you we are the richest country on earth. No, we're not. If we were the richest country on earth, we wouldn't have $37 trillion of national debt, right? We are not the richest country on earth. We have the highest GDP, gross domestic products, means we are producing the most amount of goods and services, right? Do you understand, guys, the difference in how politicians are fooling the American people? American people who have absolutely no knowledge about finance and economy, they get fooled by these politicians who tell them, you know what, I'm going to give you universal healthcare coverage from the cradle to the grave to 350 million Americans, which is going to become again 400 million pretty soon in a few years. I'm going to give you healthcare coverage, and I will give you access to healthcare, dental care, vision care, every freaking care, surgery, preventive care, blah, 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 and it will be paid by the government. Okay, but the government doesn't have the money if you tell them that. And they say, well, the government should have the money because we are the richest country on earth. No, we are not. We are not the richest country on earth. We have the highest GDP, gross domestic product, GDP. That doesn't mean we are the richest country on earth. If we were the richest country on earth, we wouldn't have $37 trillion of national debt. We wouldn't have millions and millions and millions of homeless people, millions and millions and millions of drug addicts who are sleeping under the bridges in the past, millions and millions and millions of black, Hispanics, Latinos, white people, blah, 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 living in abject poverty, guys. Right? 20% of the American people lives under the poverty level. 20% of the American people lives below the poverty level, right? I mean, it's crazy. Millions of veterans, millions of blacks, Latino, Hispanics, blah, 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 suffering from mental disorder, suffering from homelessness, drug addiction. We don't have the money, right? The California politicians who tried this universal healthcare coverage, trying to give medical to everybody, they did a U-turn, right? They changed completely, 180-degree change, because they realized that it cost trillions, hundreds of billions of dollars to cover the population of California, right? Which is about 45 million people, something like that, right? We are the most populous state in the Union. We have about 45, 47, doesn't matter exactly the number, but you get my point. It is extremely expensive to provide medical care from the cradle to the grave that is good quality, that provides access to prevention, that provides access to dental care, vision care, ear care, nose care, surgery care, dermatology care, blah, 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 blah. We don't have the money. Do not get fooled by these politicians. We are not the richest country. We don't have the money. Universal health care from the cradle to the grave is not going to happen because it's impossible to cover 350 million people. It would cost trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars every year, and we don't have the money. Look at China, look at India, right? 90% of their population lives in abject poverty. I've been to India 5 times. I've been to China 4 times. Guys, there's poverty everywhere. You go to India, there's massive poverty everywhere. People looking into the garbage to eat. People have no health care. People have no sanitation. So how is India able to how is India going to be ever able to provide health care coverage from the cradle to the grave to 1.5 billion people? It's impossible, right? Same thing in China. Right? So same thing in United States of America with its 350 million people, pretty soon to be 400 million. It's just not going to happen. So you, my dear brother, my dear sister, my dear compatriot, my dear student, I love you. Dr. B is here to help you, to guide you, to make you become a militant in healthcare. Become a militant. Fight for your rights. Fight to get a good doctor who cares. You have the right to pick up the phone and to call your insurance company and to transfer to a different doctor. Go online, talk to your family member, your co-worker. Try to find a family doctor who cares, who is not rushy, who is not pushy, who will do the investigations about your brain fog. Don't let him or her dismiss it as old age, as you being tired. Oh, you must be working too much. Well, that's your brain fog. Get out of here. I need to see 25 more patients. Oh, you must be having problems in your marriage. That's why you have this brain fog. Get out of here. I need to see 30 more patients. No. Do not allow any doctor to dismiss your brain fog. Become a healthcare militant. Healthcare militancy is a word of Dr. B. Healthcare militancy. Guys, maybe I should patent this word, right? Healthcare militancy, right? And I'm going to do it. I'm going to call the patent office and make it a copyright. Dr. B invented this term, healthcare militancy, which is this new ideology that forces people, incentivizes people to become militant in their health care, to not just blindly trust their doctor that dismisses their brain fog or other diseases or their dysautonomia or their abdominal pain, abdominal discomfort, and then after 6 months they found out the guy had pancreatic cancer, right? Or their headache. Oh, doctor, I have headache. It's nothing. Just go, I'll give you this Tylenol. And then they found out the guy had a brain tumor because the doctor didn't have the time to examine the patient or to order an MRI or a CT scan. This is how we are now. So healthcare militancy is the word of Dr. B today. To take care of your brain fog. Become a healthcare militant. Become a healthcare militant. You have rights. Call your insurance company. And of course, always politely, always with civility, you ask to be transferred to another doctor because you are sick of the doctor that you have currently who is not paying attention to you. You know very well what I'm talking about, who doesn't care. He's rushing you. He doesn't care. I love you. Dr. B loves you. Guys, Dr. B went to medical school because he cares. Dr. B went into medical school because he loves medicine, health sciences. He loves people, right? I hold my patients. I give them a hug. I hold their hands. I talk to them. I laugh with them. I joke with them. I ask them questions. I talk to them, right? This is how I am. But I'm the minority now. Right? I'm in a minority group of doctors who care, who genuinely care, guys. I love you. Whoever you are, please put your comments down there and get back to me. I promise I will respond, but I'm so busy with work, 8 to 10 hours of work, and I love it. And sleeping at least, not at least, but 9 hours a night, going to the gym 2 hours a day, right? Improving my scientific knowledge 1 hour a day. It doesn't leave me much time, but I promise I will do it. Guys, whoever the cazzo you are, whether you're a male or female or something in between, whatever your race, your gender, your ethnicity, your religion, your politics, I don't give a cazzo. Dr. B loves you for who you are because you are my student, right? You are listening to me, guys. Guys, did I tell you that I used to teach? I used to teach medicine to medical students, nursing students, ultrasound student, MRI student, X-ray student, and I miss it so much because I am now so busy at our cardiovascular clinic, right? And but now I have found my new students. Online Google, online YouTube is now my new classroom. I know you are there, hundreds of you listening to me. I love you, and I will never let you down. I will still and always be with you for the next 50 years, God willing. May God bless you all. I will talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.